Hi kids, I'm Pastor Gavin. I'm here to read you one of my favorite bedtime stories. It was read to me when I was a boy, and I read it to my kids, and now I'm going to read it to you. It's Maurice Sendak's Where the Wild Things Are. And I love this book because it's, like all great stories, it's a reflection of the one true story about God who comes to rescue us, even when we don't deserve it. So here's the story of Where the Wild Things Are. There's the pictures to start. The night Max wore his wolf suit, and you can see him getting in his wolf suit there. And he made mischief of one kind. I'll bet you know what that's about, don't you? And another. There he's chasing the poor dog down the stairs. Look at the picture there that he drew. A monster picture by Max. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. He's using his imagination. And it grew, look at that, and grew until his ceiling hung with vines, and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. Look at him sailing in his little boat there. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. Look, can you see what his boat's name is? Its name is Max there. So there he is sailing off, and he sees the monsters. That's where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth. Do you see them? There they are. And they rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Ooh, look, they got horns and claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick. There's Max, and he's pulling his magic trick. What's his magic trick? Of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. Look at them. They're frightened of Max. And they made Max king of all wild kings. Look at the crown and the scepter that Max has. And they're bowing before him. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. A rumpus is kind of like a party. But it's lots of dancing and singing and shouting and jumping up and down. I'll bet you know what it's like to have a wild rumpus, eh? Look at that. They're having their wild rumpus. Swinging from vines. Oh, and Max is the king of all wild things, and he's riding on the back of one of those wild things too. And everybody's having a good time. Looks like a good wild rumpus. Now stop, said Max, and he sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Poor Max is just there and he's lonely. Then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. And so he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. There's Max in his boat, and there's the wild things waving goodbye. And Max sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. There he is. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. and it was still hot. The end.